Hello. So, I feel like I'm not doing a very good job at kind of sharing the everyday insanity of my life as a foreigner in Korea. Usually, when I make these videos, they're scripted, more scripted. Um, and usually, I do a lot of reflection and thinking before I film anything. Um, but I kind of wanted to just share my experience of my day to day with you, and hopefully you can understand a bit of what it's like in my daily life. Um, so the day went by fairly normally. It was my school's birthday, so they had this assembly where everything is in Korean and I don't really understand what's going on. I pick up a few words here and there, but still, not very much. But my evening is where the interesting part comes in. So I attend a Korean class. Um, this Korean class was found by one of my co-teachers when I first arrived in Jeju. Um, she found this class under the pretense that I would learn Korean and be less of a burden to her. Her words, not mine. I've spoken before about how direct the Korean language can be. Um, so yeah, she found a Korean class for me, which is wonderful because one of my main goals in Korea is to learn the Korean language. Um, so I was thrilled to hear that a class had been found for me. Um, I was a little bit surprised when I attended this class for the first time as I walked into the room, and the room was full of not foreigners like I expected, but several, around 7 to 10, older Korean women. Um, so this class is clearly not a class for foreigners, as I am the only foreigner in the class. It's me and 7 to 10 older Korean women. And the purpose of this class, I learned around the first class, was that these women growing up in Korea had never really learned to read and write in Korean, so they are illiterate. Um, so in the first class, we learned how to hold a pencil correctly and to draw straight lines. Um, and needless to say, given that I am already literate in English, can read and write pretty good, I think, hopefully, um, it was pretty easy for me to pick up the Korean language because I already had a basis of one written language. So I think it's probably a lot more difficult to learn to become literate when you have no other language to base that on. So, needless to say, I advanced much faster than these women. Um, and the class has kind of outlived its usefulness for me, but I still attend the class um, as it's a period of time each weeknight where I can go and kind of force myself to study Korean to learn a little bit more. Um, and one of the teachers speaks a fair bit of English, so she's very helpful. She asks me like what I did during my weekend. And we speak a little bit in Korean, but other than that, I'm not really advancing very far into the spoken and listening aspects of Korean. Though my written and reading sides to the language are advancing pretty fast, I think. Um, so, anyways, yeah, I still attend this class that is for illiterate older Korean women. Um, but it's been a very good time. The women are incredibly nice. I still understand nothing that they say. As the older generation in Jeju speaks the satori, or the Jeju dialect, which I'm not learning. I'm learning Korean. So I have yet to understand really anything they say to me, except for one time when one of the women turned to me and said, Yepuda, which means beautiful. So she called me beautiful, which was lovely. Um, and so, yeah, it's been a very good time. We went to Seoul together, which is a whole other story for a different time. And so tonight, this brings us to tonight, where I went to class. Class was going normally for the first hour. The women were learning some new words, like raccoon for some reason. Um, and all of a sudden, two strange men walk in with a large plastic container. One of the men stands in front of the class and says some things that I didn't understand. Um, and then all of a sudden, they pull out sheets of paper and herbs, which was a kind of alarming and baffling moment for me, as I wasn't sure if I'd just become part of some sort of drug operation. But it turns out what we were making were these little satchels, pouches, filled with spices like cinnamon and anise, and two other Korean herbs that I could not translate the names of, and I have no idea what they are. But it smells delicious. So I think we were making magic spells. I believe what was sort of explained to me was that these are medicinal and they ward off mosquitoes and they may make me more fertile. I don't know. They do a lot of things that I'm not sure of what they do. It was a very interesting experience. And I think this made me reflect on how I live my life on the day-to-day basis. Especially that, I guess, I say yes to a lot of things here. Or I'm forced into them, as I was this, and I just kind of smile and nod and go with it. But my point is that if you go through life kind of just doing the same thing every day, you're kind of selling yourself a bit short. I think, reflecting upon my first year in Korea, time has gone by very quickly because I'm always doing something new and exciting. However, when I reflect on it, when I look back on it, time seems so... There seems to be so many just different things that I've done. So much has been packed into such a short period of time that while the time has gone by fast, it feels like I've had more time because I've been doing so many more things. So I think, and I don't know if I'm selling this correctly, but I think if you're feeling that life is passing you by or time is moving too slow, either one, I think you need to get out there, do something new, take a class, meet some new people, create magical cinnamon scented, I don't know, magic spells, demon bags, hex bags. Yeah, go out there, grab life by the magical satchel. Essentially, that's all I need to say, or wanted to say. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it awkwardly there. Thanks for watching.